Good morning. Delighted to have made you a decent profit yesterday. Let's get on to that in a sec. Last night's coupon did look very difficult. London Derby. I wouldn't have laid a Chelsea lead here. Tottenham, well, the wheels are falling off. As someone posted on one of the social media sites about Postecoglou, in quotations, he said these tactics worked against Dundee and Aberdeen. It's yeah, that's the problem Liverpool might be having with this Arne Slot. It's all very well being a manager in the Dutch Eredivisie, but he's nowhere near the level of the English Premier League. Europa League, no ideas here, I'm afraid, but look at that boy, Alonso, continuing to dig out the unbeaten runs. And this was the brilliant winner. If you stayed in, which I hope you did, well done. 0-3 at half-time. Why, then, are they 1.54 favourites, Tottenham, under 21s? This is probably why. Oh, Casanova, fresh from his half-time liaisons with the ladies, scoring the first goal. Penalty, well, we'll take a penalty from Mr. Lancashire. Ajayi at 3-3, that would have got you your first potential out. But those of you with big kahuna burgers staying in for the 4-3 would have yielded 40 plus odds for Tottenham and 1.1 for Nottingham to lay them. Quite outstanding return there. Wasn't even on my radar. Didn't even know the match was playing because we were all fixated on Europe. But this is a great thing about trading. You spot these opportunities. Here was another. Aston Villa, 0-2 down. This was your first cash out opportunity, having taken on a Piraeus 0-2 lead. Ollie Watkins, this was your get out. I really hope you got out at 2-2 and you're not looking for the win. This is a European first leg. It can all be done second leg, but very, very big surprise from Olympiacos here. This El Kaabi getting a hat-trick. Never heard of him before, but he really turned up yesterday. Ayub El Kaabi. Apologies for butchering his name. So good stuff. Excellent stuff, actually. I really hope you made a whopping profit from Tottenham under 21s. We've been knocking on the door with these biggies. I've got you some massive odds winners, all heading on back to Heidenheim, Austria Klagenfurt, and the rest. So brilliant. On to today, and it's squeaky bum time for Luton Town. Relegation 6-pointer. Well, not really. For them it is. For Everton it's season over. They can have some Werther Originals toffees, Everton, today. But Everton are unbeaten away against 12th and lower, which is a concern for Luton in 18th. Luton, in playing 15th today, well, 1-2 head-to-head win. Tick. 2-1 win, 1-1, 4-0 win, and a 2-1 win at home against 10th to 14th, playing 15th today. Take into account also Everton's lack of motivation and the potential switching off by the players psychologically, at least. Then Luton might have a chance here today. Both teams to score is a strong Luton trend as well. But watch out, Calvert-Lewin's got something to prove. He's been on the score sheet of late, having been very, very barren for a very long time. English League 1, promotion playoff place. Again, like the Europa League, Champions League semi-finals, these are incredibly difficult to unpack. What are we going to do? Is it going to be a very tight 0-0 for a while and one team grab a 1-0? Or is it going to be like the Champions League semi-finals, quarter-finals, 2-2s all the way round? I haven't got a clue. Put my hands up. Haven't got a clue. But I hope this research will help you. First half goal highly probable, but this is based on the recent matches. It's not based on a possible promotion playoff place to the Championship. You've got to change the context of the whole match. This is what this kind of trending research doesn't account for. It's the context of the match today. Getafe and Atletico Bilbao, 2.15 for Atletico, 10th against 5th, 5 matches remaining. Getafe can reach the top 6 European places, but it's unrealistic. They'll need other sides to conveniently lose all their remaining 5 matches and then win all their remaining 5. Ain't going to happen. Bilbao, realistic chance of Champions League place, and on that basis, you'd be slightly favouring the away side today with that huge motivating factor behind them. 2-2 draw, last La Liga meeting. Atletico were unbeaten in the last 7 La Liga matches against Getafe. Getafe have an 8-match unbeaten streak at home though. Atletico have 5 wins away from home this season. I would slightly favour the away side, just on that motivating factor of the possibility of a Champions League place for a side like Atletico Bilbao. That's huge. Both teams to score, possibility as well. Hoffenheim and Leipzig, you never know what you're going to get with the Hoff. They beat Dortmund, and Dortmund are in a Champions League semi-final. 3 matches remaining. Hoff can breach 6th, but wins are required. Leipzig are looking to secure the Champions League football, 5 points above 5th place with 9 points on the table. So a win today could see them guarantee themselves Champions League football. Could be the operative word. There's still 3 matches remaining. But I think it'll be done, won't it, with a win for Leipzig tonight. And that motivating factor, I think, will have you siding with them throughout. There's always a possibility of a goal before half-time in a Hoffenheim match, as you've seen a lot this season. Both teams to score, possibility. Over 2.5 goals, likely outcome as well, particularly with over 2.5 goals and a winner. 2-1 or 3-1 in favour of Leipzig, so says AI. French League 1, Toulouse and Marseille. And Montpellier, sorry, Marseille played yesterday. Let's have a look. 1 defeat in the last 8 League 1 games, Toulouse, but they're a bit like the Hoff. They're difficult to read or catch. If you fancy them, they tend to lose. If you don't fancy them, they tend to win easily. They've scored at least 3 goals in 90% of their wins this season. So that's interesting. At least 3 goals in the last 7 games between Toulouse and Montpellier. So it might be a neutral play. Over 2.5 goals, obviously. Both teams to score. And the research has gone for 2-1 or 3-2. Narrow win for Montpellier this evening. Lens and Lorient. Lens hosts Lorient. Both teams face contrasting challenges. Lens aims to secure a Europa League spot. Lorient fighting to avoid relegation. We've seen time and time again this stage of the season. Odds-on favourite at home, getting done by a relegation-threatened side. Peterborough, 1.25, lost, I think it was 1-4. So you cannot dismiss Lorient at this stage of the season. But Lens are unbeaten in the last 3 against Lorient. Lorient, 5 consecutive matches, they've lost and struggled for points, but they could perform above expectation, as a lot of sides have done. Torino and Bologna, well, 2.75 the favourite, should already have you on the back foot here. 7 wins, 8 draws, 2 losses in 17 Serie A home games this season for Torino. Bologna won 4 of the last 6 away matches, so they could be a tough nut to crack. But Torino are very, very defensively minded. They've kept a clean sheet in their last 4 home matches. So this is another interesting match, but 2.75 the favourite. It's already giving you clues here. It's going to be another difficult match to unpack. Look at this one, 2.45 the favourite. Almere and Heerenveen. Normally these matches I would leave alone, but I hope you find an angle here somewhere. Again, 2-1 victory for Heerenveen. It's an interesting scoreline. Keeps coming up. Fortuna Sittard and Go Ahead Eagles, 2.3 the favourite. So again, it's another match which doesn't really greatly appeal on paper. There are a number of other fixtures, of course, today. Irish Premier Division. and Irish First Division, which we'll be looking at in depth once these elite leagues have finished. The Dutch Eredivisie, normal Friday. Could this be the last day of the season? Because they're all playing at the same time. Let's have a look. The last day of the season, is it? If it is, then I hope you know what to do. We're going to do a bit of Carol Vorderman maths. No, 2 matches remain. Okay, so we can still have a quick look with 2 matches remaining, just so you can focus or narrow your focus into teams with need. So you can look at all. Groningen will be keen to get an automatic promotion place. Roda Willemsvee will be keen to get the win. Dordrecht would be keen to win because that will break into the 70-point barrier. And with another match to come, they could break into the automatic promotion places. Jong AZ, NAC Breda, Emmen, Maastricht, and Helmond Sport, you'd arguable fighting for those top 8 places. Relegation, I'm not sure why it's not targeted here, but Young Utrecht certainly done. I'm not sure if is there a relegation here. I'm not too sure, but certainly keep your eye on the top spots there. Those are the main leagues today. Villarreal B, Levante, and a number of other leagues, Turkish Super League as well. So good luck if you're playing this evening. Having a look at the tennis from yesterday and tennis today as well. Let's have a look. Yannick Sinner, well, walkover. Daniil Medvedev. So, well, Lehecka won. I did quite fancy Lehecka yesterday, and I would have looked at taking on Lehecka had he won the first set. The medical timeout has scuppered any potential trade there. Iga Swiatek, I would have laid her winning the first set because her odds would have been extremely low indeed. I wonder if Madison Keys took a lead at any stage in the second set to engender some odds movement. Nope, she lost her second set. Sorry, let's have a look. No, she lost her serve in the third match, so pity. Rybakina Sabalenka. Well, typical of this kind of match. This is pretty much saying it's even Stevens. You either go for the 3 sets, or being like this, arguably it could be 2-0. So it's probably not a match I would trade. And it's a top 4 clash as well. So being a top 4 clash, you could arguably say we're highly likely to see this head to 3 sets. Look how tight it was in the latter 3. This is probably nerves for the 6-1 first set for Rybakina. Looking on to today. Let's have a look. Taylor Fritz and Rublev. This could be a fascinating fixture. Rublev will be full of confidence. This is interesting. Agroliciem is here via a walkover, so we don't know whether it's deserved or not. But Lehecka, again, a walkover of sorts with a retirement. So this is going to be a difficult one to unpack. These two are here. They've got through past far better players than themselves, but through walkover and injury. So this is going to be a tough match. Could be a possible 3-setter. It's not one I would be looking at possibly playing. But Taylor Fritz, you might see a set of Taylor Fritz today against Rublev. Do please read these previews. As you know, with the football, they are outstanding. 8th against 13th, so it's very, very tight in the ranking. So I wouldn't necessarily take the odds to heart. We could see a 3-setter here. Taylor Fritz is certainly a very competitive player indeed. Rublev is improving markedly, the Russian. So that could be a fascinating match. So my day off today, but if I do have trouble sleeping, I will be up this evening. But look at this, 2.5, 2.25, 2.15, 2.05, 2.75, and he's hiding, 2.45. It's a tough coupon this evening. So it's a worthwhile day off for me. Have a great day today. Spend your Tottenham winnings wisely. and I'll see you again tomorrow for a live stream.